I'm Gabriel Belzile, reporting for Toronto Film School ENG 5th term production class. Here we are on the streets of Toronto, interviewing people about gun violence and how we can reduce it. Should the police have a bigger role? Is it the citizens' responsibility to reduce the gun violence and report what they are seeing? We're about to find out what people of Toronto feel about this current issue. What do you think would make Toronto a safer place in terms of gun violence?
I think basically more guns need to get off the street. I know lots of people might say that more guns are good for self-protection, but I don't see that happening. That only escalates problems, in my opinion.
More serious laws about guns, possession of guns, concealed weapons. Anyone caught with that would be a great incentive to lock them up for a longer time, so there's no sort of like more of a deterrent to people using guns.
What do you feel would help Toronto in terms of reducing gun violence?
It's a very big question. I would say Toronto needs, policing, better policing of the streets, but they also need better social services that accompany that policing, so that if there is a big drug bust or we are clearing out one gang, then it's usually younger people that replace that gang, so there needs to be social services.
Do you think Toronto should have a specific incentive program like Crime Stoppers where citizens call in and report gun-related issues? Or do you think this would only create another agency, more tax dollars, and people would really only be calling in with false reports? Do you think that would help at all?
That actually sounds like not a bad idea. If it's an anonymous thing where definitely people wouldn't be able to be tracked, because I'm sure many people would fear for their safety.
The more options we have available to decrease gun violence will be a positive step. So, even if 100 calls come in and only 2 are positive, and we can take 2 guns off the street, maybe a potential murder, then I think it's a program well worth.
Do you think the media, like violence in movies, video games, music, do you think that at all has an impact and an effect on the youths that are, the major cause of this gun problem in Toronto?
I tend to disagree on the video game issue. Music I can see more because that's people's idols that are potentially showing off this glamorous lifestyle of, I run around and shoot people and make money and whatnot. Video games, I think there's a disconnect between the person and the actual doing of actions.
It's been around. Gun violence has been around, and I don't think media really is a big deal.
I'd say media has a part of it, but I think parenting has a bigger role. I've played video games, watched the same news as...
Yes, families. It's up to you, families.
Yeah, moms and dads out there.
It's up to
I think
it is. Strong families and households,
And finally, do you feel safe here in Toronto walking alone, whether it be during the day or at night?
In certain neighborhoods, yes. In certain neighborhoods, I don't think I would go anywhere near them after 9 o'clock.
The streets that the two of us are walking down are not necessarily the streets that we're talking about gun violence and gun crime. Well, Jane and Finch gets a lot of heat, but there's other neighborhoods like in West End, East End, all over the place, and there's certain pockets that I'm not there normally, so I'd say I feel safe, but it's a localized problem.
Do you feel safe in Toronto during the day or walking alone at night?
I've always felt, I've been here for like 14 years, and I've always felt very safe here in Toronto. I've never seen a gun. I've never been robbed, mugged, or put in a situation where I would need to protect myself with a gun. I feel definitely very safe in Toronto.
Toronto, Ontario, home to many, but how safe is it for us all?